taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion show, along with the Tutty and Tater King, the, of course, rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity and the original founder of the Aisle Seat podcast. You know him from Carver and Lisi as well on the radio. It's Carver High, ladies, on a Thursday afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a thirsty Thursday. A double shot with Morency from Vancouver this very hour. And in the second hour, our buddy Billy Bender from the Sporting News to talk about the national semifinals tonight and tomorrow. And then in the final hour, the coup de grace, Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider, pushing the limits with not only all the NFL skinny and injuries leading into the wild card weekend, but bust the cap in your ass, as well as he will pick the 6 playoff games this weekend, Carver High, and they start on Saturday in Houston at 4:30, and then at 8 o'clock at the bank in Baltimore in the Charm City. Maryland is for crabs.
Yes, crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does best. Hopefully not the football for you on Saturday night with the Steelers in town. We want the Steelers to make sure that they at least cover that number out there. But yes, happy Thursday for you here. As we get ready for the NFL playoffs this weekend, of course, we are going to talk about that. We've got some injury news and other things to do along those lines. But tonight starts our first of 5 straight days of big-time January football games. The college football playoff semifinal number 1, Hard Rock, Miami, Orange Bowl, the Irish of South Bend, Notre Dame against Penn State, the Nittany Lions from, of course, State College. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun tonight, and hopefully the right team wins. And you know which one that is, Scotty. And that's the one that God shines upon us, and that is Notre Dame. Well, hopefully they'll take care of business tonight.
God and Jesus are a tag team for the Irish. That's clear. Are you on tonight with your boy? You're not on with your boy tonight.
No,
you're just watching.
Yeah. Correct, because he's doing. He'll be on SportsGrid tonight with the special, the in-game live special. You got the whole College Football Today crew. Him, Kevin, and Ben. That'll be on during the game.
I'm seeing Kevin and Prawns and Right Side calling that one tonight. I'm seeing. You might know better than me. I didn't have it right in front of me, so there you go. That's. I had just seen a preview for that, so I'm excited for them. They'll do a great job as always calling the game tonight. That'll be fun on SportsGrid. It's more fun to watch it on SportsGrid. Smarter to be on SportsGrid because you'll get all the inside skinny during the game for in-game betting. You'll be live. You'll have action. You'll have everything. All kinds of props going. And it's just better than watching regular television. By the way, I saw, reporters, a lot of reporters down there for the game. You know, they send 50 to 100 reporters to the game like ESPN and such. And I saw them all down there today complaining about how cold it was in Miami, as it was a perfect, beautiful day, albeit chilly, a little Nipsey Russell, but complaining about how cold it was. Now, let me tell you something about cold. Today, I went to the store to pick up some items, and here was the replay of me going from the store to my car to go home to Hell's Kitchen. And it was 0 degrees. So if you're in sunny Florida with your leather and your suede on and you got a sweater over your shoulder and you're a celebrity red carpet TV anchor that thinks you're special and everyone gives a flying F about you, which no one does, and you're crying about how cold it is in South Florida, have a sandwich. I don't want to hear it. I would be at that game tonight in a hoodie with a beer stuffed in my pocket, ready to go in. Let's go, Irish. I have no time for crying about weather. I went to a game last week. It was 10 below with a wind chill. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I did see also there were some reports today by someone who covers the Irish that flu has run rampant in the Irish locker room. But then I liked the note that was underneath it too. But it's just the backups and some special teams guys. So, somehow all the people that matter aren't part of this big flu epidemic that's running through the Irish locker room right now.
The sick and unhealthy. Get rid of them.
No excuses. Play like a champion. I don't want to hear it. Give him some medicine.
Send him to the end of the
line. Get him out there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it after the game.
Send him to the end of the line.
The team was sick. Okay, I don't want to hear any of that later
on. Send them to the end of the line.
So we have, of course, we'll do plenty of discussion with Notre Dame and Penn State tonight in Miami. And put a coat on if you can't handle it. I mean, seriously.
Go to the TV truck and have some cocoa.
Whatsoever. Enough. We will, of course, wild card weekend, as you mentioned, Steelers-Ravens on Saturday. No Zay Flowers. He's officially out. Harbaugh said he's not playing on Saturday night. That's helpful for the Steelers. That's helpful.
That Zay Flowers won't be out there. Flowers now.
Don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, worry about Likely, Andrews, Bateman. I got all kinds of problems.
Plenty of guys to worry about. So we'll do that. We do have more. The chops are not over. The chopping block continues. Raiders fired general manager Tom Telesco. So I like how the week went for the Raiders. They let Pierce do the press conference Monday. Then Tuesday they chop him. And I guess they let this guy sit around for 2 days. And then they said, you know what? You get out too. Said, get him out. So the Raiders clean sweep.
The house of
everybody
out. Has
tumbled down there. So another 3 GM openings now in the NFL with the Raiders going to be there too. Cavs beat the Thunder last night in a battle of the NBA's best. That actually was a pretty good game, that Thunder-Cav game. For an NBA January regular season game, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good game. There's no doubt about it. And they went back and forth. I thought Shai Gilgeous and Jay Will played great. But to be honest with you, I thought Hartenstein played the best game of any of them. He had 18, 11, and 8 dimes. He did it all. He is a monster on the glass. What a difference maker he's going to be for them in the playoffs. I think they'll go to the NBA Finals this year out of the West.
There is a huge slate in both the NBA and the NHL tonight, so we have lots of games that we will get to on that front too. And yes, the golf is on. The Sony Open out in Hawaii. First round is underway.
It's on now.
It's on. Well, I'm watching it on the Extended Plus coverage. I don't think Golf Channel picks it up until about 7 o'clock tonight because they play very late out in Hawaii.
7 o'clock tonight, bro. I'm watching Notre Dame, bro.
I know. Bermuda Ben Griffin in the lead at 6 under. We had him for you yesterday at 50-1, so let's go for the tournament, not first round. But we do have Ben Griffin in our pile, so hopefully he continues this all weekend long.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
There's a lot of bowl games. I love all of them. Even if you don't like bowl games, you got to love the Pop-Tarts Bowl and what it means for college football.
Who doesn't get excited for Pop-Tarts? But also, this is one of those where, Ben, I guess you could put your kids through college. Miami doesn't care about bowl games. They don't ever win those. Miami's a favorite, so they usually go take the Iowa State Cyclones. Miami doesn't play any defense whatsoever, so you automatically just bang the total.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our outlets, whether it's the TV side, the radio sides, everywhere. But we get Morency twice a double shot on Coast to Coast every day from Vancouver. And here we go tonight. Notre Dame and Penn State at the Orange Bowl. You heard me earlier, people complaining about how cold it is. It's not cold to us. Where we are is freezing ass. Where they are, it's chilly. It's a perfect I think tailgate situation, perfect, ideal beer drinking, outdoor football weather, perfect for the players. No one's going to be hot. It's going to be rock and roll, lock and load. Let's go, Morency.
You know what's funny, Scott? On Monday night, you had the FCS championship football game in Frisco, Texas. And it's unseasonably cold there right now. They got a snowstorm in the Dallas area, etc. And they were talking about how cold it was. And, dude, the teams were North Dakota State and Montana State. Scott, you would have loved it. It was nothing but fat dudes with no shirts on, like double-fisting drinks. It was like balmy weather to them, all these fans. It's like, dude, I'm coming from North Dakota. You think this is cold? Right? Yeah. So same thing tonight. It's like you got Notre Dame and Penn State. I think they're going to feel pretty comfortable. Like you said, it's going to feel just like a nice, brisk fall practice weather for them. It's football weather. Perfect. Let's rock. I noticed there's not a ton of, hype about the whole game coming into this. I just tweeted about Scott. ESPN.com front page has 30 worst MLB offseason moves on the front page. CBSSports.com front page is ranking the NFL playoff coaches. SI.com front page, NFL playoff picks. I'm not saying there won't be big ratings tonight, because there will be. People are going to be watching this. But there's not that sort of, oh, man, like the countdown is on the kickoff. I think it's because it takes too long. We're in NFL season right now. The college football season should be over, guys. Like, they never played this late into the season before. Should be over. We're not even close to over. The championship game is January freaking 20th. All right? So I think the Midwest angle, too, Scott, it's all Midwest stuff here. Right? I mean, it'll be a nightmare, bro, if it's Penn State and Ohio State in a championship game for TV purposes. It's going to be an all Big Ten game. But with that being stated, I think the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to get it done tonight. To me, a big difference, guys, coming into this game, because, man, these two teams are the same, aren't they? They're the exact same team. They both, they're the exact – I've never almost ever seen a game where the teams are mirror images of each other as much as they are. So there's really not a lot to take away, right? They both only give up like 2 touchdowns a game. They're both their offenses are run heavy, kind of pedestrian. No one's wide receivers are scaring anybody. There's a lot to it that goes into this. So, like, I'm looking for, like, fine-tooth comb here stuff. And I trust Freeman. I'm not going to say I trust him more than Franklin. Franklin's a good coach, but I think Freeman, guys, will have a trick up his sleeve more than Franklin will. I think Freeman's the type of guy that'll say, you know what, let's run a fake punt from the 50 here. Let's do something to steal a possession. Let's do something to put points on the board out of schedule to sort of get an advantage in this football game. And, you know, big key tonight, guys, Xavier Watts, all right? Xavier Watts, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish safety. The other kid, Schuler's good too, but this Watts dude is going to the NFL. He's like Caleb Downs good. SMU and Boise State, as you know, all right, they were okay football teams. They didn't have NFL caliber players on their defensive side of the football, right? They just didn't. I mean, yeah, you got Ashton Jeanty, he's really good. Okay, who else is going to the NFL on that team? Nobody, right? You look at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's like, yeah, who's going to the NFL? Well, their safety is, their DBs are, like you start, their defensive line is. You start going down the list. You know, you just saw what they did to Georgia, and I know they had a backup, but they dominated the Georgia Bulldogs. If Carson Beck plays, who cares? Notre Dame still win that football game. I think Xavier Watts, guys, will be able to contain Tyler Warren, who's really Craytron Allen's a badass, but you can slow down the rushing attack. From a passing attack, we all know it's all about Ty Warren. SMU and Boise State were not designed or didn't have players that were able to contain this kid. Notre Dame do. I think Notre Dame win a really close, low-scoring game tonight.
What did you think of the stories popping today that Beck's going to transfer to Miami?
Oh, yeah, you're Kane, Scott. You know, I was thinking, is Beck going to pop up at Notre Dame? Because this is what Notre Dame does now, right? There's no secret. We're already hearing the Quinn Ewers rumors. At least that's sort of the whispers going on. If Quinn doesn't go back to Texas, you know, I think it's Carson Beck and the Miami Hurricanes is a perfect match. It's an absolutely perfect match. He can put up some numbers, play in a high-powered offense, sort of set himself up. Listen, guys, Cam Ward, as good as he was, Cam Ward was not a top 5 draft pick last year playing at Washington State, right? I mean, he was really good at Washington State, but people were like, okay, let's see it some more. He greatly improved this year. If Beck didn't get hurt and had a better year, he goes to the NFL. He didn't, right? He's hurt. He didn't have a great year. He's, you know, I think it's a smart move. Go to Miami and put some big numbers up in that program, Scott. I think it's going to happen. I would say that Carson Beck will be the Miami Hurricane quarterback.
Did you know he was dating one of those Cavender twins?
Yeah. Actually, no. You know what? I didn't realize it was one of those twins. I knew that it was some influencer. I got to be honest with you. I find those twins like incredibly annoying. I'm so done with them.
I don't care how annoying they are. They're hot. You can be annoying. It's not like I have to deal with them. I need to look at them.
One of them scores 2 points a game, and she's famous. Like, seriously, what are we doing here? Like, okay, she's hot. Good
I'll
for
tell
her.
you this much. Last night
There's
I made money on
hot
Florida
women in the
State
world.
against the Canes. They suck in basketball now. I mean, they're awful. Betting against them is easy money.
Yeah, the wheels have really fallen off here right now. I mean, your coach quits mid-season on you, complaining about the modern college. All my players wanted to leave, so you know what? I'm going to leave in mid-season. Like, how he didn't get called out more for that? I know he's a good guy. He's been around forever, but you didn't quit because of the NIL. You quit because your team sucks.
What did you think of Michigan kicking UCLA's ass and making Mick went off the deep end after that
one? you privileged son of a bitch, kids. Just settle down, Mick. Right? You're 11-4, Scott. Mick, go to the racetrack. I know Mick well. Go bet the ponies, Mick. Have a drink. Calm down. You know what I mean? He went off. He's coaching them hard, I guess. Right? He knows what he's doing. But even I was like, dude.
Going to the ponies and having a drink.
Bro, that's your guy. That's a Sir Bobby Knight move here. We're 11-3. F them. I'm going to rip them hard.
Just 3 games left in this historic college football season. Thursday, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is definitely one of the top teams in the nation.
Clash with Penn State. Friday, Ohio State looks to slow down the Horns, with the Buckeyes favored to top Texas.
You know what I see? 2 similar plays? Jackpot, cherry. For a big man.
Follow along for every play and every bet with in-game live game day, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This was a team that you should have dominated. You've now lost 4 straight. You're heading into the playoffs and you're searching for answers, not just in terms of your offensive line, but your quarterback now.
I just don't see this team peaking at the right time. It was almost like we were anointing Mike Tomlin as the best coach in the NFL 12 or 13 weeks in. Then once they got to the real competition and the attrition started to settle in, it's just not a good football team.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Louis Riddick has interviewed for every job in North America. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking about every business in North America of any kind whatsoever. Tire companies, grocery store CEOs, shopping malls, insurance companies. What job hasn't Louis Riddick interviewed for?
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Well, we hit that Cavs game last night, minus the 2 that hit. And then what's your feeling about that they have to turn around tonight and play Toronto, and they're laying like 15? And can they catch them napping after that big game last night? Can the Raptors steal one? And then in terms of, covering, because they've been one of the best cover teams in the NBA. And what's your thoughts as we look ahead to tomorrow with Texas and Ohio State?
Well, it's early in the day right now, Scott, and I'm looking at the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, when it comes to the NBA, there's always who's in, who's out on a daily basis. I can tell you what, guys, something about the Raptors. You saw last night with the Knicks. It's almost, Scott, as a Raptor fan, I don't mind this. It's working out pretty well. They're losing games all the time, but you see them. They're not bad. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know what? You guys are pretty good, actually. Like, Quickly, Barnes, you got Barrett. They're in these games. They're great against the spread. They're in the games, and then they lose the game late all the time. It's actually ideal. I don't know if they're going to get the top pick in the draft, but they're going to get a nice pick. So if you look at the Raptors' straight-up record, you'd be like, oh, my God, like what an absolute train wreck this is. They actually play hard on a daily basis, and they cover point spreads. It's a massive number tonight, and there's only been two times, guys. Last night was only the second game all year. Believe it or not, the second time all year that the Raptors had their starting 5 together. It's been one of those type of years. So you got a massive number tonight. I know it's in C-Town, guys, but I think this is just too big of a number, Scott. I'm looking right now. I don't see anybody out for the Raptors. In fact, they're all playing. So I don't see why the Raptors can't hang around here. Cleveland wins, but I don't think Cleveland win by 15. This number's too big, Scott.
How can they get up for this game tonight after playing that monstrosity of a game last night at home that everyone had their eyes on? It was the biggest game of the year, and they won it, and they celebrated like they won the title.
Yeah, now you got the Raptors rolling in an 8-29. You go from playing a team on a 15-game win streak to playing an 8-29 team. Right? It's just, you're right. They're still going to be buzzing. What are they going to be talking about this morning at the morning shoot-around? Oh, man, last night was lit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we're worried about stopping Scotty Barnes tonight. right? Like, it's too many points.
They're going to think it's easy work. I mean, look, I play in games on a 3-time defending champion team, and when I walk in the gym for the game, I'll be like, who are we playing? And the guy will tell me who we're playing. He's like, this is easy work.
And they beat them 122-108 earlier in the year, so the Raptors will be a little bit. I mean, they'll be a little bit more up for this, not to get their ass kicked. Like I said, the Raptors are playing hard, guys. This is far too many points. The Raptors they cooled off as far as the spread. They were like 10-1 at one point. They're still 20-16-1 against the spread. They're still one of the better covering teams in the National Basketball Association because they're getting points and they haven't quit. Like, if you look at their players, they actually do have some decent players. College basketball has been a lot of fun, Scott. I mean, there's the March Madness tournament sneaking up on us. I took your Hoosiers last night, and you're like this. I hit a women's game last night. Juju Watkins and the USC Trojans were on the road at Maryland. I was like, they can't be 7-point favorites. They're not going to win by 7. It's 6.5. Maryland ended up winning the game outright as 6.5-point underdog. So we'll be all over the college ball, Scott. I love it. I sort of go back and forth on a year by basis, like NBA's better or college. I'm just sort of more intrigued by college. Illinois is there's a lot of really good fun. Yeah, there's a lot of good fun teams in college this year. It's going to be a fun tournament. Like, look at the SEC, bro. You got like 6 awesome teams, the Big Ten, like the Big 12. It's not like college football where, there's only a couple of teams that can win. College basketball, man, there's like 12, 15, like really, really good teams this year. So I'm enjoying that. And a look ahead to tomorrow, Scott. I'm looking, listen, I love the over the game. For the record, tonight, too, we like the under. I know it's light at 45, and I hate betting unders, but I like the under. And I hate college football teasers, but I think in the playoffs you can do it. Notre Dame tease to the under tonight. But tomorrow, Scott, I like the over 53.5 a lot. And I'm in the minority, but I think the Texas Longhorns can hang around in this football game and play with Ohio State.
Too. Yeah, me too. They're playing. It's a home game. They're playing in front of 100,000 Texas fans. That's just all there is to it. Now, I know Ohio State fans travel, but this is in the heart of Texas, in Arlington, at Jerry's World, 100,000 plus in that building, and I am telling you, it is going to be orange. They're going to have a crack at this. It's going to be tough for Ohio State to win in that building. I don't care how good they are. They were fantastic at the Rose Bowl, but that was a 50-50 split in Pasadena. Any news if the Rose Bowl is still standing? Is it okay with the Fires?
Still standing, fortunately. The Hollywood Bowl nearly went up last night.
Oh, no.
Just 3 games left in this historic college football season. Thursday, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is definitely one of the top teams in the nation.
Clash with Penn State. Friday, Ohio State looks to slow down the Horns, with the Buckeyes favored to top Texas.
You know what I see? 2 similar plays. Jackpot. Cherry. For a big man.
Follow along for every play and every bet with in-game live game day, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Ferrall. Joe Shane and Brian will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This was a team that you should have dominated. You've now lost 4 straight. You're heading into the playoffs and you're searching for answers, not just in terms of your offensive line, but your quarterback now.
I just don't see this team peaking at the right time. It was almost like we were anointing Mike Tomlin as the best coach in the NFL 12 or 13 weeks in. Then once they got to the real competition and the attrition started to settle in, it's just not a good football team.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Louis Riddick has interviewed for every job in North America. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking about every business in North America of any kind whatsoever. Tire companies, grocery store CEOs, shopping malls, insurance companies. What job hasn't Louis Riddick interviewed for?
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, we dive into the NFL wildcard weekend now, and I see that you have the one and only Art Smith on the show today.
Well, yeah, you sent me this this morning or last night, whenever it was, and I thought it was funny just because your boy Pony in Pittsburgh, who's always, obviously always gassing up the Steelers stuff, and it's been talked about. Who does they want to start? I mean, Russ has been bad during this entire stretch. Justin Fields, you want to go back to him. Tomlin has said, we're going to have some kind of a package like we always do. He's been hurt the last few weeks. Arthur Smith was kind of asked about that as well. And he said, Scotty, all hands on deck for the Steelers against the Ravens on Saturday night.
No stone left unturned. It's what the playoffs is. I mean, whatever, you get through the drama, the ups and downs of the season, and however you shake it, you're in a single elimination tournament. I use that analogy. Let's burn the boats because you got to win to stay in and win, survive and advance. And so we'll use everything at our disposal, assuming it's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, I just don't believe that for 1 minute, okay? I have sat and watched this team like no other. I'm a season ticket holder. I go to the games. I watch their games. I watch every game they play. I watch every snap of every game they play. And they never do anything unique. They never do anything different. They never do anything special for Justin Fields in that offense. I've seen him come on the field for what? I guarantee you he hasn't played 5 plays since they benched him. Five plays. He came in and did what? Ran 1 yard? That's your idea of using Justin Fields? It's laughable. This guy, do you understand? I even sent you stats today. I sent them to you. This guy is worse than Matt Canada, and I didn't even think that was possible. I thought that guy was the worst coordinator I've ever seen in any sport ever. And then this guy tops him. He's literally got worse stats than Matt Canada.
He really does. He's done that bad of a job. But you're right about Fields. At this point, even if you were to bring him in for, some kind of a package, the other team knows why he's in there. He's in there to run. He ain't going to throw the ball. There's no shot he's going to throw the ball. I know he ran a lot when he was the starter, but at least there was you didn't know each play. When he just comes trotting out there for one play, you know what it is. It's going to be some kind of sweep to the right or up the middle. You're not throwing the ball.
Listen, have we not heard that there's teams interested, the Jets, etc., in interviewing Art Smith for their head coaching vacancy? Can you imagine being so stupid as an executive or a front office role type person that makes decisions? We're gonna interview this guy for our job, our head job, because of the job he's doing in Pittsburgh. What would behoove you to interview someone, to hire someone for a job because they're talented or they've got some kind of juice or they've got a name all of a sudden and people are talking about you all of a sudden? Who in their right mind would interview Art Smith after the abortion of a job he did in Atlanta and the abortion that he's done in Pittsburgh? I mean, can you imagine someone being stupid enough to bring him in for an interview to be the head coach? I mean, honestly, I'm as serious as the day is blue. What in the God? I mean, I'm going to start swearing. Who would do that? Who would bring this guy? He's done nothing, but their offense is so anemic. He calls the plays. He's in charge of the most anemic offense in the NFL, and you're going to bring him in to be the head coach of your new football team? You must be stupid.
It really doesn't make a lot of sense. But, of course, the Jets are going to interview him.
immediately when they lose this game on Saturday night, I would make him take the train back to Pittsburgh. Take the Amtrak back. Here you go. You can drink the whole way home. You're fired.
Drink
Honestly,
the whole way
awful.
home.
He is so awful.
So
honestly, I'm not joking.
Well, the Bears and the Jets are the ones who are requested to interview with him. Let's remember, they're also interviewing.
It'll never happen.
Everyone who's ever stepped foot in a facility. So that's a part of what you have to remember as well when it comes to those guys. George Pickens, eligible for an extension, has 1 year left on his rookie deal. I saw some numbers that you sent me that like 4 years, $100-something million is what he's going to get. I don't know about all that.
He said today that he's going to be finished with the Steelers after this game on Saturday, and that'll be the last you ever see of him in Pittsburgh. I also don't believe that for 1 minute.
I don't believe that either because he has a year left on his deal. So it's not like he's a free agent and he's leaving. I did see all the media.
That throw the noodle against the fridge to see if it'll stick. Like, I'll say anything today to get attention, and I'm not that guy. I'm really not. I know I'm painful, but I'm not that guy. You've never known me to be that guy. Here, let's see if I can say something crazy on the air today to get everybody's attention. I'm already crazy enough as it is. I'm already painful enough as it is. I don't need to do phony ass stuff. I never have my entire career. I've never. Hey, let me see if I said that we used to have that problem with our boy back at CBS. He'd done anything to get attention. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna drag him through. He would have said
there's
anything
a lot
to
of
start
people.
a fire.
A lot of people like that.
Oh, please. 8 out of every 10 guys on sports radio?
Just about. And I did see all the regular beat reporters for the Steelers today were, I'm not saying upset, but made sure to make it a point that Pickens, again, didn't talk to anybody this week. He usually does his media at the end of the week.
So what?
Not talking to the media. They're all so fired up that he does, he didn't talk to us after the Bengal game, and he didn't talk to us this week. Why the hell do you want to talk to him? He doesn't say anything. He stands there, gives you one-word answer, and then turns around and walks away. So you just want him to come out so you could do that spectacle every week? You could have George come out. He looks at you. He goes, no.
What have I told you I want him to do? What have I said to you about what I want from him?
Catch the football. How about that? Catch the football. What does it matter? What is he giving you in those media scrums at the end of practice on Thursdays and Fridays? Nothing. You're getting
what I need is a touchdown or two on Saturday night in Baltimore. That's what I need.
But they want to gas everyone up by watching them not answer the question, say all right, and turn around and walk away. You know, everybody loves those clips. Everybody watches them turn around. For all these guys, he's not giving you anything of substantial. Who cares if he didn't talk to the media? The last 4, you gave me all the good numbers. The last 4 Steeler playoff losses, they've gotten off to some very slow starts. They've been outscored 56-0 in the first quarter combined in those 4 games. And eventually they would trail 21-0, 28-0, 35-7, 21-0 in all 4 of those games. Maybe they need to, how about even a field goal, just scoring first on Saturday night? Even that would be, just have a lead. Get yourself out on the right foot.
This is the last 4 playoff games. 21-0, 28-0, 35-7, 21-0. And that was just the early score. This is after the first quarter. Are you kidding me? And people continue to say that they shouldn't get rid of Mike Tomlin, who is coaching these teams. I love Mike Tomlin. I've liked him for a long time. We've had him on his show 5 million times. We do the words of wisdom. But the reality is he's been an utter failure, disaster since that Super Bowl. Since he won a ring, he's never won a game. He's just awful. He's an awful playoff coach. And he's a regular season, September through November coach. In December, he's Houdini. He disappears before your very eyes. He's David Copperfield in December. Honest to Christ. In January, it's even worse. It's a bloodletting. In January, he's a missing child.
Just 3 games left in this historic college football season. Thursday, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is definitely one of the top teams in the nation.
Clash with Penn State. Friday, Ohio State looks to slow down the Horns, with the Buckeyes favored to top Texas.
You know what I see? 2 similar plays? Jackpot, cherry. I'm in for a big man.
Follow along for every play and every bet with in-game live game day, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Ferrall. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This was a team that you should have dominated. You've now lost 4 straight. You're heading into the playoffs and you're searching for answers, not just in terms of your offensive line, but your quarterback now.
I just don't see this team peaking at the right time. It was almost like we were anointing Mike Tomlin as the best coach in the NFL 12 or 13 weeks in. Then once they got to the real competition and the attrition started to settle in, it's just not a good football team.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Louis Riddick has interviewed for every job in North America. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking about every business in North America of any kind whatsoever. Tire companies, grocery store CEOs, shopping malls, insurance companies. What job hasn't Louis Riddick interviewed for?
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, this is getting better by the minute with some of the skinny that we have for this Steeler-Raven game. Listen to this next bit. Carver High, what is it?
Yes, Brian Kemp will be the referee for the Steelers and the Ravens on Saturday night. The home team has won 81.25% of the games he officiated this year in 2024. The league average is usually just over 50%, 53.31%. But Kemp for the home team, 81.
What in the F is that? The average of the league is 53.3% of the refs give the calls to the home team. The
home team wins. Home team wins the game.
Well,
yes,
the home team
not
wins
necessarily
81% of the time this guy's anywhere near a game.
Right. So the home team I don't know that those numbers I don't think bake in necessarily how many flags he's thrown against either side, but that is just strictly who wins the game when this guy's the ref, and the home team wins the game 81% of the time when it's Brian Kemp.
Well, that's all I need to know, that they get all the calls.
That's it. You can decipher that from those statistics. You can decipher that when it comes to it. The Ravens will not have Zay Flowers on Saturday night. He is out. So he got hurt, of course, last week.
5 left. I got to go back.
Sure.
I this game the other night, right? This Saturday game, the Bengals and the Steelers. And I mean to tell you, so it's minus 10 with a wind chill, the whole deal. These NFL refs, I mean, I swear to God. Now, if you watch the game, I don't know if you did, but in the first half, in the second quarter, it literally took them an hour and 15 minutes to get through the second quarter because every single play, every single effing play, this guy had to blow the whistle, stop the game, and have a meeting with his refs and then have reviews on the sideline. It was every single play in the second quarter. And I mean, people were booing, not because so much of the calls were bad. It was that they couldn't get their act together. They didn't know whether they were coming or going. They didn't know what the calls were. Why did we throw a flag? What are we going to do here? Who's it against? Maybe we should review it. Let's go take a look if he was short on the spot. Well, let's look at the spot. I mean, it was the worst officiating crew I have ever seen in my life. And I think what happened was, in my view, the reason people were so mad was because they were freezing their ass off. It was, negative wind chill. And I think the refs were frozen numb and dumb. They were numb and dumb and dumber. Every single call took 10 minutes. And there was, literally the game started at 8. At halftime, it was like 11 o'clock. I was like, what is happening here? I'm freezing my ass off. And people were booing and cussing. You should have heard the language I heard directed at this head ref. I mean, this guy got abused like no other. I have never seen the abuse of a ref at an NFL game like I saw Saturday night in Pittsburgh against the Bengals. I don't even care who he was. He was awful. I don't even care his name.
So Bob sent me a couple stats on this guy, Kemp. He co-ranks number 1 in multiple categories: offensive holding, defensive holding, and face mask. Kemp ranks number 3 in calling roughing the passer. 63% of Kemp's false start offensive holding penalties are assessed on road teams, the largest discrepancy of any crew in 2024. So there you go. Kemp,
the game's over already.
Get ready for flags. And yes, I was watching last Saturday night. The refs had a very hard time in that Steeler-Bengal game. They had a very hard time in that game. No question about that. It is still 9.5. It is still 43.5. Of course, tomorrow we'll dive into it even more with Mike Tomlin's words of wisdom going into a wild card weekend. We'll have that tomorrow.
I got to be honest. I pray to God that you're right about the 10 that we bet. And I bet the 10, but I swear to God, I'm just going to be honest. I think the Ravens are going to beat them by at least 14, 17 points. Easy.
The
Steelers' offense is so anemic. They will go 3 and out at least 7 to 10 times. Watch.
I just believe that the Steelers' defense is going to keep them in the game. And I think defense? The Steelers will get
what defense?
They played well against Cincinnati.
You mean their Thanksgiving defense?
I know,
the one that ended at
I know
Thanksgiving.
they lost.
Defense?
I know that they played well against Cincinnati last Saturday night. I know that they didn't win the game, but they did not lose the game because of their D. They held the Bengals to under 20 points. It's something the Bengals hadn't done in 2 months. I thought Hayward played great. Watt played great. I think that those guys are going to play well
Did you see
on Saturday
Hayward
night.
Getting talked to by Wilson after the game? Let's go get the next 4, baby. And Hayward's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Get out of my way.
Yeah, I know. Russ is always Mr. Cheerleader out there. You never know. Russ always and remember, Russ always does that stuff. He knows the camera's there. Russ always knows the camera's there when he does all that stuff. Come on, baby, let's go. Let's ride. Let's go.
Come on, baby. Let's get the next 4, baby. Come on,
there you go.
The
other game on Saturday is Chargers and Texans, and we will do more on that tomorrow as well. Still 2.5 and 42.5. Nothing has changed for that game either. The first game on Wild Card Saturday down in H-Town for you. So nothing of much significance to report you with that. All right, we'll come back, and I will start to give you some stuff from Sunday's games. I've got Sean McDermott and Sean Payton for you today. Got a little Sirianni later, Baker Mayfield.
How you and everyone else, not you specifically, but literally no one is talking about the L.A. Houston game.
Yeah.
You just blew past that like you were, hitting off the tee at Kapalua.
Because I felt like we have done that more than the other games because we had some sound on it yesterday, and tomorrow we're going to have more sound on it.
Nobody's talking about that game. No one at all.
Yeah,
like the playoffs start Saturday night at 8, not at 4:30.
As far as everyone's concerned, that game's over. The Texans have no shot. If you listen to people, the Chargers are already in Kansas City to play the Chiefs the next week. Like they're already after the game.
Wouldn't that be great if Orange Sherbert beat Mahomes?
Just 3 games left in this historic college football season. Thursday, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is definitely one of the top teams in the nation.
Clash with Penn State. Friday, Ohio State looks to slow down the Horns, with the Buckeyes favored to top Texas.
You know what I see? 2 similar plays. Jackpot. Cherry. For a big man.
Follow along for every play and every bet with in-game live game day, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Ferrall. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This was a team that you should have dominated. You've now lost 4 straight. You're heading into the playoffs and you're searching for answers, not just in terms of your offensive line, but your quarterback now.
I just don't see this team peaking at the right time. It was almost like we were anointing Mike Tomlin as the best coach in the NFL 12 or 13 weeks in. Then once they got to the real competition and the attrition started to settle in, it's just not a good football team.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Louis Riddick has interviewed for every job in North America. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking about every business in North America of any kind whatsoever. Tire companies, grocery store CEOs, shopping malls, insurance companies. What job hasn't Louis Riddick interviewed for?
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so what's Sean McDermott saying heading into this game against Denver in the Below?
Yep, another year for Sean McDermott, Josh Allen, and the Buffalo Bills. And once again, the quest is to finally get to a Super Bowl. Here is McDermott as they start another playoff run. Hey, we can't think about the past. We can only think about now.
Every year is different. I know why you're saying that. So every year is different, and every team takes on its own identity. So I would say yes and no. I'd say yes because of it is in our history of not getting to accomplish our ultimate goal year to year. But at the end of the day, we've had a lot of success, and it's a hard thing to win in this league. And you're looking at an AFC that is loaded with high level teams, and it starts right from the start with week 1 for us of a really good football team, the Denver Broncos here.
Yeah. Listen, I'll agree with him. I know it's not the same thing, but to me, it's a lot like, you're in the NCAA tournament and you're trying to make it to the Final Four. It's really hard. I'm in this basketball that I play in these violent leagues that are all over the country. They're everywhere. All these ex-NBA players are in it. There's tremendous talent in that league. And I play in it, and here in New York, and, Mafia played with me. He won 4 championships. He knows how hard it is. He went to 4 others and lost. I've gone to 10 and lost. I went to 10 title games and lost. I went to 10. I went to 4 of them undefeated and lost. And it's always the same thing when it's over. You talk about how hard it is to actually get it done. I've won 12 championships, but it was hard as hell to get it done. It's hard to win the first game, the quarter, the semi, and the final. It's brutal. And I know how he feels. It's written all over his face. He's like, it is so hard to win in this league. They get there every year. They're right on the doorstep, and they don't get it done. And then people crucify him and crucify them. But the people that are doing the crucifixions don't understand how hard it is to actually get it done. There's only one left standing in sports. Shut up.
There's only one winner every year. Only one team can win.
That's it.
The Bills, of course, they need to finally get over that hurdle and get themselves to a Super Bowl. Here's Sean Payton on the other side Bo Nix, rookie quarterback, making his first playoff start. Peyton, not concerned about that. Kid's played plenty of big games in his life.
A rookie quarterback starting his first NFL game, is it
his first playoff game?
A big step, and then what makes you think
I think, listen, he's played in bigger games. I mean, he's played in a lot of big games, and honestly, last week for him, for many guys, it was like a playoff game. So he's seasoned, and he's been in big moments, and you know what? He's going to play in bigger games.
Listen, I'll give him this. I thought that hoodie he was wearing was terrific.
Yeah, if we could get that in like another team, that would be fine with me. Yeah. But yeah, the hoodie, they usually outfit those to every team. Like every team gets the same gear, just their logo slapped on it there. So we might have to find one of those.
The Bills and Steeler ones of those.
The Bills and Steeler ones, it'll be okay. Still 8.5 and 47.5 for the Bills and the Broncos on Sunday afternoon. First game of 3 on the middle day.
I think Buffalo wins this game. It boils down to the number. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Denver's for real. I think they're legit. I think they're going to show up. I think they're going to lose. But I can see them covering the number. I think they're going to be in the game. I really do. I do not think that – I also could see Buffalo blowing them out. To me, Buffalo's not losing. Buffalo in one way, shape, or form, to me, is going to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I just like I think it's scary with the 8.5, and I know they should blow them out. I'm a little nervous that they won't, but I think they'll win the game. I like 40 over 47.5 more than anything because the Bills are always going to get their 30 points at home. They are going to get their 30 points. I don't care about the Bronco defense. They've been lit up by plenty of teams in the last month, and I think Denver's going to be able to contribute with maybe at least 20 of their own. So I like the over. I think that's the way to go out in Orchard Park on Sunday. All right, I'll give you the rest after you talk to Bill. I've got a few other things that we could do, but you got to get me all set up for this Irish Penn State game tonight with Bill Bender next. You got to do that.
I go back to what I said and reiterate. I want to see Orange Sherbert and the Chargers win that game Saturday, go to Arrowhead next week, and end this nightmare run that this Chiefs team's been on.
We'll be right back. It's time for a SportsGrid 2-minute drill.
Time now to play a little buy or sell. The Kansas City Chiefs, George, will win their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Are you buying or selling?
They do seem to be hitting their stride. All right, they get now, 3.5 weeks off here, get everybody healthy. Mahomes the ankle, Kelsey gets the rest. Chris Jones, who missed that game on Christmas, now he gets the rest of it. He's an extremely important part of that defense. So they're looking good. They're covering spreads now, something they weren't doing. Now they're actually winning legitimate games. That being said, that offensive line is still bad. All right, and I think there'll be teams that take advantage of that. No, I'm selling. I'm selling here.
I don't even care if I believe this or not. I'm selling. I do not want to see this. I do not want to see the Chiefs win again. This has not been a fun year watching them. They've gotten lucky. They've gotten some calls. No, please no. Jamar Chase will win the receiving triple crown this season. Yards, receptions, and touchdowns. George, you going to buy or sell this?
I'm going to sell this. I'm going to say, listen, he's great. He's going to have a lot of great numbers here, but I'm going to say no, he won't get the receiver crown. Maybe 2 out of 3. He'll just miss. He'll do a little Aaron Judge. He won't get the average.
All right, I'll play the buy. I'll play the buy card just to play something different in the end, and he was my best player in fantasy this year, so I'll say buy there. I'm going to skip ahead, Sam, to the last one, the running back here. Bucky Irving, who's been fantastic for Tampa Bay, will be a top 8 running back in drafts next season. Is this buy or sell?
Assuming everybody comes back, Godwin, Evans, Mayfield, I see no reason why they wouldn't. I'm going to buy this, Craig. I'm going to buy. I think Bucky Irving is going to be that guy. It's a heavy passing offense, lots of touchdowns. Buy.
Fantasy Sports Today, your weekend source for year-round fantasy insights. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.